this is when we're going to be there, and that's it. Okay, like we had it planned for Sunday. Today I found out they're going to be here Saturday because of another big job. These guys do
That
$1 million
came up.
jobs. So for them to come out here and work on this little kart track is, I'll tell you right now, I feel pretty privileged to have these experts that do this for a living. I'm excited about that, and I can guarantee you when this thing's done, you're going to be looking at something very, very different for karts that you've ever seen here in the Northwest. Ever. I'm going to leave it at that because it's going to get everybody excited. You guys know. You've been out there. You've taken a look. You know what's going on.
I've ridden on it.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have.
Oh, my goodness. I think we've got a little bit of video on Gary on his quad.
Oh, Corey, I
tearing
was
it up.
going to tell you, I took you a picture the other night I think you're going to like.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. You know, you'd been telling me I want a picture over the racetrack when it's lit up at night.
Yes. Did we get it?
I got a couple of them.
I hate to know how high you had to go to
I
get
love
that,
it.
but
I didn't.
it's going to be a
Actually,
beautiful picture at night with the lights on and that's just such a great facility. Southern Oregon Speedway is just a beautiful facility.
But this one, I took 3 of them. 2 of them from overhead,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them at a 45
Oh, great.
Oh.
from
Interesting.
toward the mountain.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. Toward
All
the
right.
mountain.
Ooh,
Whatever direction that is,
I
toward
bet
the mountain.
That,
Awesome.
And it's looking back at it at like a 45-degree angle, and it's all lit up, and you can see the track, and you can see the colors, and
Awesome.
you can see the whole thing. So it turned out really nice.
That's
I just
gonna
need
be-
to get a good screenshot of it
Yeah. Great.
and post it. I'll do that too tomorrow. Well, maybe tonight, because I'll be a tired puppy tomorrow.
Well, I got to tell you
Yeah.
guys, every week, the thing that, there's weeks where you just want to walk away from the sport, and there's weeks you're just pumped. And I've had those ups and downs. Then I get to the track, and I've got fans coming up to me talking about what you guys do. They see you guys more than they see me.
You know what, though? People walk up to us, too, Corey.
Yep.
I mean,
But you
every
guys-
single one of us, they're not only telling you about us, but they're telling us about you and about how – and
But-
that's what I like about Southern Oregon Speedway. We get, compliments all the time.
I have had so much fun this year with this
It
crowd,
has
being
been a
new and then
fun-
learning new names and new faces and the fans that we've developed friendships with. It's been a lot of fun. But every week there's a new face coming up saying, "Oh man, that sure is awesome what you guys do with the drone," or we really like knowing what's going on in the pit area when a car pulls off, and you give us that information right away. And there's always that what we do is a little bit different, and to hear that is kind of makes you go,
Yep.
Oh, I want to
It's
give
worth it.
I want to give a shout out to the commander of the Civil Air Patrol in Medford.
Oh, yeah.
he actually got his hands on the
I let him do the
remote.
test flight, but as a pilot, you're standing up there, and I know Corey said, "Well, you've got an FAA, we got a licensed pilot, blah 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 blah." Okay, I deal with that. But then you have a guy come up and goes, "You don't know him from Jack," and all of a sudden he walks up and goes, "I have a pilot's license for drones," and your hair stands up. Well, what did I do wrong?
Yeah,
You know,
right.
did I do something wrong? And this guy walks up to me and he says, "I just got my license a month ago." And I go, "Oh, thank you." No. And he starts talking to me, and we spread around. He says, "Yeah," he said, "I'm the commander of the Civil Air Patrol." And he said, asked me what kind of drone I was flying. And I told him, he says, "Yeah, I have one just like it. And we have a Zoom. I have both of them. We use them for the search and rescue." And I said, "That's neat." So we talked and talked and talked. And I said, "Well, he was there with the girls from the soccer team.
Mhm.
Was that the soccer team
Yeah.
that was there?
Yeah.
Doing the 50-50, and he was there with them. One of his daughters, I think, was there. And he says, "Yeah," he said, "I got my 107. I said, "Well, heck, why don't you come upstairs? You be interested in you fly the Mavic. You want to do the test flight?" Because I always do a test flight before the show just to
Yep.
make sure that's one of those
Yeah.
things you got to do. So he come up and did a test flight, and he said, "Man, I like that." And he liked the strobes that we put on it, which is compliant for FAA. He said, "Man, those are great. I'm going to have to get some of those for the Civil Air Patrol because it makes it so much easier
Easy
to
to
see."
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, "That thing just vanished." And we brought it in, turned the lights on, and he looked at it, and he goes, "I love them."
Yeah.
But you talk to those guys, and then we had another guy. I think the guy's name was Cliff. He was over there, and now this guy, he's not a newbie to racing. You know, you never know who you're talking to.
Right.
You know, and I just happened to be standing down, you know, for a break, and he was standing over there watching the races. And between the races, I said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Are you having a good time?" And he goes, "Heck yeah." He said, "I was over at the drag strip and heard the motors." And
Had
I
to
thought,
come.
we finished up at 5:30, and he said, "I thought I'd just come over here and watch." Come to find out, the guy had 4 cars, 2 cars that he'd brought up. He's from California. Where was he say? Did he was from Sacramento? Was up here running a big race over there for the drag strips.
Right on.
So he stayed up there for a long time and talked to us, you know. But you know, just the people down there are so friendly.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that dirt track action? He's like, man, these guys are drivers.
He was
Yeah.
excited up there. I mean, he stayed up there for a pretty good while, didn't he? I guess 20, 30 minutes.
Maybe a little longer.
A little longer, watching, you know, and talking and carrying on the conversation and watching the monitor, you know. And then he started talking to me. He says, "Man, I wish I could do that." I said, "Well, you know, you drive drag cars, I drive drones. I'm a drone driver."
Well, hopefully we get a good show this weekend with the fires down there. We want to, you know, hopefully everybody's
Smoky.
safe. We are getting a lot of reports of smoke down there.
We've gotten a lot of pictures as well.
You know, and talking about drones, they're having issues with people flying drones. It's causing chaos for the helicopters. And, you know, get your drones out of the air, put them on the ground, let those guys fight the fire. Pictures are cool, but not worth people's safety.
I want to be honest with you. I want to say this up front, and I mean, and I'm really adamant about what I'm fixing to say. If you own a drone, for God's sakes, go find somebody that knows how to fly and has experience with them, instead of just going out and throwing it up in the air and take off and go places you shouldn't go. Because I'm speaking from experience here. 5 years ago, when the drones really started getting popular, I've flown model aircraft ever since I was 8 years old. The drones almost, and I'm saying almost, put us out of business. I mean, it absolutely took our hobby from
Everybody's got one now.
from 100% to 0. But it was the people was flying them recklessly,
Right.
flying them up where they're not supposed to be, flying them up around buildings, going around the Empire State Building, going around Statue of Liberty, flying over Air Force bases.
Stupid.
You know, we had an Air Force base, and I'm not going to name it. They had a huge RC model club on base. And all of a sudden they found 2 drones on the runway. On a military installation, 2 drones on the military.
Word.
Guess what? Base commander says cease
No
and
more
desist.
RC. Oh,
Yep.
man.
That's too bad. Well, hopefully, you know,
Be responsible.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying
that's
to
what I'm
say.
saying.
Be
It's-
responsible.
we want to get those guys the best job possible to put those fires out. And, you know, a lot of people
And
in
stay
Canyonville.
away.
It's over 9,000 acres last time I heard. Hopefully
Hopefully we'll be racing on
well,
Saturday.
And I know
mean,
Mike McCann. Mike will. I doubt he's going to call it for that. That's kind of a normal thing down that area with the fires. You know, you look at Northern California, Southern Oregon. It's hot and dry, and those fires get. You know, there's something every year down there. It seems like, but I'm sure we'll be racing. But you know, hopefully, just to the families at Canyonville, that they're doing all right. They get the fire put out. I am excited about Saturday night. It'd be good to get back to the track and doing what we do.
I'm looking forward to a good night.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have the whole crew together again, which was nice. It was a little subdued without Nina. She was gone.
Well, she was there.
She
but
just wasn't there.
She wasn't there for the ride down and the ride back.
Right.
You know.
She was down there with her kids, which
Yeah,
was
she
cool.
brought her kids. And
Well, I'm talking about the week she was gone.
yeah.
Yeah. She
Well,
wasn't-
and then that was the next week
Yeah,
that
the next week she brought
didn't
her
drive with
kids,
us
but-
either. So there's been
Yeah.
2 weeks.
but she brought her family out to the track. She has some family down there. They brought them out and had a good time. And,
Yep.
you know, awesome. So I am looking forward to getting back to, you know, the premier dirt track venue, Southern Oregon Speedway, and having a good time and doing what we do. You guys come out and join us again. We've got a big night. We've got the Hers Precision Parts wingless deal of $3,500 for the winner.
Do what we love what we do.
That's right.
All right.
If
Cask-
it wasn't for the love of our job, what the heck?
It's not worth it. Yep.
Nope.
That's why we do it. But yeah, you guys stick around. Start tuning in. We're going to throw a special show at you coming up. It's going to be an interesting discussion with an in-studio guest that will be very interesting, to say the least. I can't wait to get you guys involved in this.
My buddy
conversation.
Red Farmer's not coming all the way from
You know,
Alabama.
I'd love
is
to
he?
have Red.
Oh, that'd be
Red.
awesome.
If you can get Red Farmer here, you tell him I'll buy his plane ticket. Guys, he's 742 wins.
Something like that.
He's forgotten more about dirt late model racing than we'll ever know. I mean,
And he's still running late models.
One of the original 3 Alabama gang members.
Yep.
Yeah. Get him on the phone. Talk with him. We can get him here.
I'll call him.
I'll buy his damn ticket here. I'll guarantee that. Chances that's winning the lottery right there. Get old Red Farmer here. But 87 years old and still doing it in late models.
We have
Yeah,
a
he
spare
is.
room for him too.
Yeah.
All
Red,
right, guys.
Red, these boys need a lesson up here. You need to come up and give them some
How
kudos.
Pointers.
cool would that be?
Oh, that would be nice.
That would be fantastic. But again, guys, hey, thanks for tuning in. We're going to step out of here from the Moxie studio here on West Coast Wide Open. We'll talk at you next Wednesday night. You want to tune in. Have a good rest of your week. We'll see you at the racetrack Saturday night.
Night, y'all.
Northwest Dirt News is a production of Moxie Media Promotions. You can contact us anytime at nwdirtnews@yahoo.com.
Slow